Hey everyone, my name's Chris Lambert. On this channel, we talk Kanye West, and today we're talking this Instagram post that Ye sent up, and he hasn't posted much recently, or what he's posted gets deleted very quickly, and this has been up for a whopping 14 hours, which is pretty long in terms of Kanye's social media time. But it says, "Look to the children, look to the homeless as the biggest inspiration for all design." And this isn't the first time we've heard him say this. Ever since The Life of Pablo, I think. Well, no, even My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, when he talks about like my childlike creativity, purity, and honestly being prodded by these grown thoughts. Reality is catching up with me, taking my inner child. I'm fighting for it, custody. These responsibilities that they entrust to me as I look down at my diamond and crust. But anyway, so there he kind of promoted this idea of getting back to the childlike perception and resources that you have. It's a way of looking at the world. There's an innocence, a freshness. Your viewpoint isn't defined by society so much. There's a freedom there, which is something that he talked about on Twitter a lot in 2018. I feel like it's something that's kind of just been, especially with him having kids, and I think having probably a lot of talks with his kids, I'm sure that it's just something that's has really been motivating for him. We saw that he opened a school, he was doing Easy Christian Academy, so it does really seem like he's trying to connect with this childish viewpoints, and really like find inspiration from that perspective. And then look to the homeless. I think it's a similar concept. It's this idea of society restricts you. Society sets ground rules. Society tells you how you should and shouldn't behave. And that can limit the ways in which you seek inspiration and the way in which you design things. So essentially, Ye is looking to groups that are outside of bounded perception or limited perception by the powers that be. And it's just like the homeless do have a very different perspective on like living in the same place that so many other people live. Like the experience of someone that's homeless in a city versus somebody that's living in an apartment or living in a house is vastly different. The way in which they go about their day, the way in which they see people, the way in which they value the things that they value. And I think what Ye is kind of looking at from their perspective is this idea that they don't view things the same way that everybody else does because they tend to be disconnected from what everybody else is doing. And that can be very empowering in terms of perspective and in terms of how you're valuing the things that you have and even valuing what you have. And like you might have a very different view on how much you need like a coaster, right? Where somebody that's in a house might be like, oh, I need these really fancy, I can't even think of a fancy store, West Elm coasters. And it's like, do you really need to spend $500 on hand carved coasters? Probably not. So like, what would a kid see when they look at a coaster? What would they do with the design of a coaster? What would somebody who's homeless do with the design of a coaster, right? That goes a little bit out of the pretentiousness of society, the yuppiness of society, the just the platitudes that make up a lot of society. So, yeah, looking at those things as some of the biggest inspirations. But we do know that one of Ye's biggest inspirations ever was this lamp. So I would add that, like, look to the children, look to the homeless, look to this lamp. For those of you that don't know, this was the lamp that Ye credits with inspiring Yeezus. Like he was looking at this lamp, which is very brutalist in its styling, and was just like, I'm going to make Yeezus. And he made Yeezus. Like this, he looked at this lamp and he heard on site. So this lamp should definitely make the list. So look to the children, look to the homeless, look to this lamp. But that's it for this video. If you want to support us, one of the big things right now, we're trying to build up our movie YouTube accounts, slowly adding content here, but we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Y'all have been really great. Just this time last week, I think we were at 250. We're not even 200, so we're almost at 700. If we can hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, then we just need 4,000 watch hours to get this monetized. And we're still a far, far way away from 4,000 watch hours. I think we have 1,200. So it's going to take a bit more, but any subs you can throw this way, any videos you could watch would be very helpful and meaningful. But until next time, stay wavy. And oh yeah, it's film class. Just Google film classes or YouTube film classes. But until next time, stay wavy and keep it loopy. Cheers.